Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football Deal. That is commitment number 2 for our Michigan Wolverines on the day. Three-star edge rusher Tariq Bonnie from Washington, D.C., committing to Michigan. Now, look, I know that there will be some Michigan fans that look at the three-star ranking and kind of maybe not feel great about it. Not with this kid, at least in my opinion. You look at Tariq Bonnie and say, number one, and I say this for every single three-star that Lou Esposito recruits to Michigan. Lou Esposito's track record in terms of talent evaluation and talent development is one of the best across the country. Like, that was one of the reasons I was so fired up with Lou Esposito coming to Michigan. During his time at Western Michigan, Lou Esposito recruited Braden Fisk, who is a three-star interior offensive lineman recruited by Lou Esposito to play defensive line, day 2 NFL draft pick. Marshawn Nealon, two-star from Grand Rapids, Michigan, recruited by Lou Esposito to Western Michigan, NFL draft pick. Andre Carter, recruited to Western Michigan by Lou Esposito, NFL draft pick. Lou Esposito does this. And so pretty much any commit that Lou Esposito racks up on the defensive line, I kind of have a blind trust that it's going to work out for Michigan. Now, what fires me up the most about Tariq Bonnie is, yeah, he might be a three-star according to 24/7 Sports. There were some heavy hitters that were involved in this recruitment. Georgia, Auburn, Tennessee, obviously Michigan getting in there as well. The motor runs extremely hot. He might not have the ideal size and length that maybe 24/7 Sports is looking for. A really twitchy kid that knows how to use his hands, and it might not be the ideal athletic profile, but this is a guy that I think obviously Michigan likes because they're taking his commitment in late April, very early on in this process. Want to get into Tariq Bonnie a little bit more, talk about what he brings to Michigan, talk a little bit about how this 2026 cycle is shaping up for Michigan before we get into it. As always, just want to say thank you to you guys. To the Michigan fans, though, I think we'll say, buckle up. Like, I think it's going to be a really fun summer for this Michigan team on the recruiting trail. They've cast a very wide net in the 2026 cycle, and I think you're probably already starting to see it as we speak. You're going to see Michigan start kind of ramping up the aggression in terms of who they're going to take on the recruiting trail. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Dale Tariq Bonnie from St. John's in Washington, D.C., a powerhouse. How we feeling about it?
And you kind of said it, because I think that's going to be something that's going to get really important in college football, is that ability to identify this type of player, especially with some of the like rev share agreement possibilities coming down the pike, where again the money starts to get a little bit more even. Now, obviously, the big schools I still think will be able to recruit the high end guys a little bit
Yes.
more effectively than the average school. Michigan, you'd still like to be able to see them pull down Carter Meadows and some of those top targets. But I do think it's going to be important to be able to bring this type of player in and be able to develop them and kind of like go back to the old school model of college football a little bit, especially with some of the new developments.
And you make no mistake about it. Like, that's how Michigan won a national championship. Talent evaluation and talent development. I think you speak for many Michigan fans that, hey, we want to get more of the blue chip guys, the top 100 kids. At the end of the day, what separated this Michigan program was being able to identify these kind of kids, get them into your program and develop them.
Well,
Hammer
and
against
listen, you gotta be able to do both. Like, you need your
yes.
Will Johnsons, you need your JJ McCarthy's, your Blake Corums, but it's not bad to be able to hit on a Kenny Grant and a Colson Loveland and
Yeah.
some of these guys who go a little bit under the radar. So again, you gotta balance both out. Michigan, at least in Sherrone Moore's first real full cycle, showed a great ability to go pull big time dogs into the recruiting or in from the recruiting ranks later in the cycle. So again, I don't necessarily doubt Sherrone Moore's ability to go out and land a Carter Meadows type guy, but you still want to have that as part of your repertoire of being able to identify lower ranked kids.
Yeah, this kid, getting into the player, we spent the last 4 minutes talking about Michigan overall recruiting. Dill, I'm going to make a crazy comp like Melvin Ingram, like a little bit shorter, a little bit stockier, not quite the stocky size. Although Dill, he's a thick dude, like 6'2" and all at 230 pounds. What I love most is the motor. Like, you start turning on the film, and this dude just plays so hard every single snap. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but look at some of the best edge rushers that Michigan has put out, like most notably Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, the motor runs hot. That's where Michigan has the most success. Really elite get off as well. And has the opportunity and ability to win in a lot of different ways. Like you see the pie, you see like the coordination, like just the caliber athlete we're talking about right there. But Dill, as you get a little bit more into Tariq Bonnie's game, more things start to flash. I mean, the burst and bend, the ability to go right through. I mean, hey, low pads, heavy hands. Let's put this tackle right into the lap of the quarterback, get off the block, keep running hot, and go make a play on the football.
And I'll tell you who that looks like, Josiah Stewart. I mean, you
Yeah,
talk about another like
that
smaller,
might be a
lower
better
ranked
comp.
kid.
Yeah,
Again, didn't go super high in the NFL draft, obviously,
should have.
because I think a lot of teams look at, yeah, it's not ideal length. It's not exactly what your first round NFL draft pick at the defensive end spot runs. But
Yeah,
when you have that low center of mass and you can really play powerful, Josiah Stewart is a really good player for Michigan. I feel like people almost like sleep on him because, yeah, Kenny Grant, Mason Graham, and I'm
yeah,
not
I
downplaying
agree.
those who are monsters, but Josiah Stewart really played good football for the last
Okay,
2 years.
I'm gonna take it back. That's the comp I'm gonna go with. Josiah Stewart, very, very, very solid comp. But then the ability to be flexible and bursty and bendy too. You know, like this is a big, more heavy-footed tackle. Like, all right, we'll go win on the outside. Wins in a lot of different ways. Really does fly around the football field. You see the power that this kid has in his hands. Run and chase ability. Which I'll say this, Dill, that run and chase ability from your edge rushers becoming really, really important because you've seen a lot of these quarterbacks that are a little bit more mobile and can create outside the pocket. Got to have edge rushers who can run and chase.
But that's also why the motor part, like, yeah, you
What they
can
do.
downplay it like
Oh,
anybody can have it, but not everybody does have the motor. And again, when quarterbacks are more athletic, and that's a bigger part of like not just college football, but pro football, they just don't want unathletic quarterbacks. You need to have a motor. You need to be willing to chase guys down and just straight up, not everybody has it. Like you see that frequently in college football.
yeah. I mean, come on. Burst and bend. We saw the power in the hands. Burst and bend. Look at the bend. I mean, that's what you want to see. And again, he's not gonna be a top 100 national recruit because he's a little bit shorter, doesn't have the ideal arm length. There's a lot to like on this kid's film. Invade the DMV, Dell. Like I think we immediately went to like, all right, let's go grab Carter Meadows, who is like kind of the complete opposite, like super long, kind of a lanky guy. Like Tariq Bonnie might be the better football player right now because he's a little bit more developed and knows what he's doing a little bit more. Carter Meadows in the upside is absolutely silly. Kind of reminds you a little bit of David Ajabo. Really like where Michigan is going in the edge rusher department. Michigan's had a lot of success. Like Dill, the way I look at it, it's like use what we just saw over the last 3 days in the NFL draft to recruit these kids. Like I know NIL matters. I know it. Everybody knows it. But where the true money is getting developed into be a top 15 pick. We had 3 of them in this cycle. Gonna have a lot more next year. Like that's where the money is. And Michigan's really been pumping them out and having a lot of success developing players into the NFL draft. And I think as kids see it, like you're kind of hoping more kind of flock to this program. We'll close it out there. Second commitment of the day. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.